Well, ladies and gentlemen, wonderful to see at least one person has joined us for this preview. Make sure you hit that like button. Of course, if you haven't already done so, hit subscribe. Look at this, by the way, breaking news, or at least breaking for me. I've been switched out of football over the last few hours. What do we think about that, by the way? Some breaking news is that for me, I didn't know until right now that Mr. Bruno Fernandes has been named best player in the Premier League this season. Interesting wording here from Simon Stone. I think he's, deliberately chosen those words, but there seems to be some outrage. Sam Dean, sorry, mate, I've never heard of you. Daily Telegraph. Oh, well, there we go. With respect to my colleagues in the football writing industry, I'm stunned that Bruno Fernandes has been named FWA Football of the Year. That's obviously the Football Writers Association Football of the Year over Declan Rice. Rice has literally won more matches this season than Fernandes has even played. Maybe Sam doesn't know that football is not an individual sport. It is a team sport. Maybe Sam is also an Arsenal fan. I don't know. And quite frankly, I don't care. There's a nice little tweet as well from the club showing Football of the Year for Bruno Fernandes. Of course, we are here for a preview of the Sunderland. I'm going to come to very quickly. I'm going to choose my preferred 11, and then we are going to break the actual 11 itself because the kickoff is less than an hour away. Last I saw, Liverpool were drawing with Chelsea. Is that still the case? 1-1? Yeah, it's still 1-1. And if we look at the live table, by the way, where does that leave us in terms of third place? Of course, Villa are in the Europa League final, so quite possible. I know we've secured Champions League football, but I'm just wondering about third place. We are 6 ahead of Villa with 3 to play, and we would potentially be 5 ahead of Liverpool. A win, therefore, today, if Liverpool don't win, which is the current situation, 1-1, and we were to beat Sunderland, we would then be unassailable as far as Liverpool are concerned. So we would definitely be top 4, and I think we'd be odds on for top 3 because we'd have to lose both our remaining games, and Villa probably win all 3 of theirs, or at least get 7 from the last 9. So a win today would probably secure that. I think we are going to get second. We are going to get third anyway. Second would be a bit dreamy. When the Man City were losing the other day, I did think, we might get second. Anyway, we've got 2 people watching right now. Now, that does take me by surprise. I think that's our largest ever live audience we've had concurrently. So let's see if we can get to 3. Who knows? Okay, my preferred 11 anyway. Let's go to a United squad selector. Talking of which, I am going to do a show in the next few days about who I would like to see come and go. Let's share this tab as I pick the team. I've seen a lot of tactical experts suggesting United have been playing 4-4-2 recently, but I'm going to set us up in a 4-3-3. Senna Lammers in goal. I know we've got, top 5, top 4 pretty much secure, and probably even top 3. I do think we should at least take this one seriously. Once we've, won today, the last 2 games of the season, we can be experimental. Also, I'm quite happy to have an experimental bench today, but it's not like we're running on fumes this season. We'll only play 40 games in the entire season. I think the biggest question would be who plays left centre-back alongside Maguire. I'm going to bring Martinez back into the team. He's not played for a few weeks. I think he could do with some minutes, and I'd be quite happy to see Heaven replace him after an hour, doing a kind of a Ruben Amorim-esque move. But anyway, well, that's for another day. Casemiro, sign him up for another year, please. But I don't think it's going to happen, but I hope I'm wrong. Alongside Manu. And as I say, I'm going to go strong today with my team, with the exception of one sort of minor change I'm going to make, but I'll mention that in a moment. But I'm going to go for our first midfield trio. Bruno might get the assist record today. Of course, we've scored in every single match that we've played under Michael Carrick, which I think is, hey, look at this. See, look at the couple of the Talking Tennis crew are with us today. Good to see you on board. Keep me up to date if there's a goal in the Liverpool match, because I don't have the TV in front of me. I'm actually on my balcony right now. Sunny Bon behind me. Let's share just very quickly that top. Yes, I think it is still 1-1. And look at that, you see. If Liverpool don't win, as I said at the beginning of the show, then a United win would guarantee us in the top 4, would actually mean we'd finish ahead of Liverpool. When was the last time we finished ahead of Liverpool? Maybe under Solskjaer one season. Let me have a look. Man United 2021 Premier League table. 2022. 2022 is the season he got fired, right? 21-22. So I think we were way off it that season. Yeah, it is the season he got fired, the Ronaldo signing. But I want 2021 table because I'm just wondering if we finished ahead of Liverpool that season. Dearie me, come on. That was when we finished second. I just can't remember if we finished second to Liverpool or to Man City. I think it was to Man City. Oh, dearie me, where are you, Premier League season? Premier League table. Maybe someone in the live chat can let me know. Oh, I've got Wikipedia here. Okay. 2021. Yeah, we finished second to Man City. So that's the last time. So it's 5 years since we finished above Man City in the since we finished above Liverpool in the league. This is the league table from that year. 10 point. How many points were we off the top? 12 points off Man City. 74 points. Probably our biggest haul, except for the Mourinho season, I think, when we got more than 74 that year. Watching the EFL playoffs, are you, Matthew? Okay, good. Need a big game from Ahmad as he's been underperforming. And Bumo too. I agree, those two have been underperforming. In fact, let's go back to my preferred 11. And that's where I think things get particularly interesting. I think Martinez or Heaven is a 50-50. Some will go for Heaven, some will go for Martinez. But my front three is, well, we're going to go with Sesko up top, who's probably jumped ahead of Mbumo and Ahmad in terms of the permutation of the front three. We'll go left wing Cunha. And then in a sort of attacking midfield, right-sided midfield role, I'm actually going to go with Mason Mount. Now, that might surprise you, but I don't think he's had enough minutes under Carrick. I'm not sure if Carrick doesn't fancy him or whatever. Silky, I reckon the lineup is a shop window. Exactly, in a way, and that's what I mean. I would, but I think he needs to do something. No, it doesn't need to, but I think he can try and prove himself in these last 3 games. And that's one of the reasons why I'm going to go with Mount. Ahmad, a former Sunderland player as well. Maybe Ahmad isn't the strongest mentally in that terms of that dynamic. I know he's been very gushing over his time at Sunderland recently. Villa might be eyeing up 4th spot indeed, but I think as long as they get top 5, I mean, that's all they'll be worried about, top 5, and they should get top 5 and win, right? Well, win the Europa League. So that is my preferred 11. Now, let's see. I would go for Areola, but anyway, regarding the 3 managerial options, I would honestly, I'm happy with 3 options. I mean, I'm not saying Luis Enrique is an option. Yes, I know he's a big earner. I know he is. Yeah, but who's going to take him on those wages? We'll come to that in later on down the road because I do have probably a good hour to talk about comings and goings with United. Okay, here is the United 11. That has been shared on the official account, and it is as follows. So Lamans is in goal. Let me see if I can permit it. Mazraoui is starting. Ahmad is also starting. Xerxes is starting. This is clearly, although, is it? Let me just have a quick look at the bench. Maybe no Sesko because he's injured. Okay. And Woma's been left out due to form. Yoro has just been crap. Heaven will feel a bit hard done by being dropped, but as I said, I've gone for... So it's Maguire and Martinez at the back, and Mazraoui is right back. So I have my preferred 11 on the... my preferred 11 is thus. But the actual 11 is thus. I'm now going to get the actual 11 for you. So Lammers is in goal. Mazraoui at right back. That may surprise some, especially as he started that game against Leeds when we were dreadful. So Shaw's at left back. Centre backs are Maguire and Martinez. In no way does this say anything about Heaven, who's done really well. Is it Heaven or Heaven, by the way? Let's just set us up in a 4-3-3, even if Bruno Fernandes is playing more like a second striker at times. I think we've got Casemiro in the midfield. Am I right with that? Oh, hang on a second. Our midfield is Mount, and Bruno. So actually no Casemiro in the... So maybe he's injured or just said that you've had a great season, but please be fit for the last couple of games. Or maybe just don't get a red card away at Sunderland so you can have at least a home match. So it's not Casemiro. Let's get Bruno in here because he's starting, understandably so. Footballer of the year. Mount and Mainu. So Mainu, I guess, will be the deepest lying of those three. And Mount is also in there. I want Mount to start. And so we've got no Sesko. I wonder if that's the injury that he picked up that meant he came off at half time against Liverpool when he got bundled off the pitch. And so we've got Ahmad and Cunha in the front line. So Ahmad does get a start, and Mbeumo's on the bench. Well, you've been not good enough. Some of the matches where we've played well have not been because of Mbeumo, and some of the matches we've won have not been because of Mbeumo. So, yeah. All right. So I'm now going to share with you the actual 11 in the formation that I expect them to line up in. That midfield is a little vulnerable, I think, in terms of maybe not quite tigerish enough. But you're not going to play Ugarte, are you, after the dreadful 2 years that he's had? It's heaven. You pinched him. I know. We pinched him from Arsenal for $1 million. But it is heaven. Like, yeah, I love Martinez. Some people want him gone, which is just insane. I know he's missed about 50% of our matches this season. Sorry, since he signed for the club. So I saw a stat like playing 62 from 140 odd opportunities or 135. But actually, that's better than I thought it was. I think Liverpool is still 1-1, right? Any other thoughts on this 11? Back in the starting lineup as a Man United tweet regarding Mason Mount. Yeah, I think it's the first start, I think, for Mount under Carrick. I think if we'd had some cup matches, I would keep him. But, you know, I see why you might be trying. If you get someone to take him, of course, especially if they want to pay a decent transfer fee, sure. But there's a player in there, and every manager until Carrick actually has rated him. And even Carrick might rate him, I don't know. Okay. The media literally, overwhelmingly, although I think that might be a slight mistake in terms of the English there, Sam, but the media overwhelmingly voted for Fernandes to be their Footballer of the Year. That's just how it is. And he has been fantastic. And Declan Rice in the second half of the season, I'm sure Matthew's probably got his own opinions on Declan Rice not getting it, but he's been very good in a very good team. It's the first Man United player to win Football Rights of the Year award since Wayne Rooney. Yeah, and by the way, Wayne Rooney didn't win the league that season either. It was Chelsea won the league that season, but he was the outstanding player, if at least until March when he got injured against Bayern. Yeah, sure. You would keep Mount and Lissandra, would you? No, I wouldn't. No, that was Schmeichel. I think there's a reason why Schmeichel hasn't gone into football management, or at least to any level of success, and probably answered it in that question. Joshua Xerxes here, gushing some praise on his brother. Bruno there getting the Football of the Year. Get one more question in, someone. Either Matthew, maybe you got an opinion on Declan Rice or something else. Also give us a follow on X at Talking Tennis TT. Warm reception for Ahmad apparently upon arrival at the Stadium of Light. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, of course, as we slowly wrap this up. It is a bit more experimental, that side, than I expected. But then I guess with the absences of Sesko and presumably Casemiro is out with an injury. I'm just going to check Twitter to see if that is the case. Casemiro is not ready today, but club expect him to be back for next week. Sustained a problem in training this week. Ugarte also sustained a problem in training. Okay. Well, Ugarte's no big miss, right? Yeah, I'm not. Don't compare this season that Arsenal are having with the treble season. And that was also a line that the journalist gave, which was just nonsense. David Ginola wins a Carling Cup and plays a couple of good games. Even if you split, just coming back to that final point on that United season, I'm probably got more passion about that. That's just ignorance from journalists, in my opinion, trying to find an excuse because you still just don't vote. Even if you split the vote, the contenders that year would have been Roy Keane, no doubt about it, Dwight York, possibly Andy Cole, possibly David Beckham, definitely Jaap Stam. They would be the contenders that year for me. Probably Keane, Stam, and York would have been the strongest contenders, those three. And even if you split the vote, it's 33% each, right? No way does, if there's 1,000 votes, then let's say they get 300 each and the other 100. Yeah, Scholesy, maybe. The only thing is that season, him and Butt were sort of in and out of the team. It was one or the other pretty much. Obviously, the Champions League final he was suspended for, but Scholes was playing a huge role in that season, no doubt about it. Late equaliser against Inter, etc. But actually, that season, I probably wouldn't put him in contention for the Footballer of the Year. It was just ignorance on the journalist side. The line from then, which has been peddled a lot, which has clearly been bought by some, is that they split the vote. But you can't split a vote when that season. David Ginola had a good season, but it wasn't Bruno Fernandes-esque this season or Wayne Rooney-esque in 2010. It's just stunning. And I get it also in terms of it being an individual award. If Ginola had been phenomenal that season and United had a bunch of 7 out of 10s, I'd agree. But Stam, York, and Keane were 9 out of 10 throughout the entire season. One of those three should have got Football of the Year that season. Anyway, I digress. One final look at the United 11 today. I'm going to share it with you in its formation. Players playing for the shirt today, I think, in terms of, or playing for their future, sorry. Xerxes, Mount, Mazraoui, those three, I think, are definitely playing for their futures today. Others might even suggest Amad Diallo, Luke Shaw, and even Martinez. I wouldn't probably put any of those in that discussion, but I think there's an argument with Xerxes, Mount, and Mazraoui, but that is for another day. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know what you think about this little. Pretty cool, right? All right. In the meantime, hit that like button. Hit subscribe. We've just got a third viewer. That is the most. That's a hat trick. Third time lucky. We've had 3 live viewers for this. Unbelievable peaks that we're reaching. And hopefully, from my perspective, Manchester United reach another peak today in terms of their performance and their result against Sunderland. Thanks for tuning in. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe, etc., etc., etc. And give us a follow on X at Talking. No, not at Talking Tennis. At Talking United TU.